Okay. Hello and good day to everyone that is really tuning in here at Phoenix Holdings. Once again, this is your host for today's AMA CH, and we're going to be having yet another exciting and well-awaited AMA featuring some familiar faces that we had before here in Phoenix Holdings with X Echo. And from the X Echo team, we got Danny and Mario as part of their team. Guys, how are you doing today?
Hey everyone,
Good,
doing good.
thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of the people here at Phoenix Holdings recognize you guys, especially Danny. Have you seen the VC? Yeah, if you're seeing the VC, if I'm not mistaken, um, you guys are from the previous project before Doxed, right?
Correct.
Yes,
Oh
yes, we
man,
are from Docs.
that was like one of my biggest regrets for not aping Doxed. It made it made a lot of people rich. I mean, yeah, that was a really successful project. So yeah, lots of high
Yeah,
hopes for this project.
Xeco is still the same. The thing is that, the thing worked out for us is like our logo was X, and when the war happened in January and
Oh
February,
yeah. Mhm.
markets got dumped, and we one of my friends Zohib was trying to launch his project, so we kind of have to talk to him and convince him that it's not the right time to launch. So we kind of decided to merge the two projects. So it's doxed utilities um, combined with a metaverse and few of the unique utilities that will be one of a kind, which we will be launching. We will share the information later in the AMA. That's that's
Nice.
that's
Mhm.
like how we plan for it. The docs is still there. The utilities are there. The only change is the docs main website, docs.org, will be a audit and KYC website. That's the only change in terms of utilities for docs. In uh, with that, we have also added like a gaming engine and a render chain and a cloud machine. So that's like it took us 2 months to do that, but it will be worth it in the end.
Yeah, no rush for this one. I mean, based on just the background of your team, I've been seeing at the website, like, you really live up to your name. Everyone is doxed with all their social medias. And yeah, that's as dox as you can ask for. So yeah, that's a great start so far. And okay, but before we dive into the project itself, I think that a lot of the people here in the VC are not aware of your previous project and your background and history. So can you guys first start off by introducing yourself to us, like some history on your crypto journey and how did you end up creating the X Echo coin as a project?
I can start. So my name is Mario, and I am the co-founder and CEO of Xeco, or previously Doxed. So as Danny mentioned earlier, Xeco is the combination of two projects, which is our previous project, Doxed, combined with the Virtual X project that was supposed to launch probably about 3 months ago. Virtual X was a metaverse project, a really detailed metaverse with a lot of utilities in it. On top of that, a few extra utilities that I will mention a bit further down the line. In terms of my background, I started with Danny when Doc started around last September. Previous to that, I was in the I'm come from Australia, so I've lived in Sydney for about 15 years. And in terms of background, I've managed companies in Australia for the last 15 years, and I decided to get out of there and just do something for me. And that's when I joined with Danny, and we launched Doxed, and now Xeco. I'll let Danny introduce himself, and then I'll be happy to take you through our roadmap and what we have coming up.
Great, thank you, Mario. So hey everyone. Some of you know, like my name is Danny, and I have been crypto space for about 4 or 5 years now. I started in crypto as an investor, but somehow I got interested into um, development, how these works, who develops these project. And after SafeMoon, a lot of shit projects, sorry for my language, kind of started to launch, and there were a lot of rugs and scams. So I'm not from a marketing, or you can say I was not a very connected person, but in our dev team, some of the people wanted to launch their own project back in 2021, but we were kind of afraid that we do not know anything about the marketing side of it. So I took kind of initiative and decided to launch our own project. And unfortunately, we find the name Docs and got the website for it, and it all worked out in the end. And we launched in 2021 September, and we hit like 50 million with 40x. So that was kind of really good for us. And the very unique thing that happened with Docs, that we told community that we will launch utilities in 1 week, 1 or 2 weeks after the launch. We did that. We launched DocsPad, and in first month we generated about 100K in revenue from our first project that we launched on DocsPad. So the very good thing about our team right now with Xeco is that both the dev teams are now combined, and we all will be working together. So that's a little background about me.
I think that's a good start for a project, like 2 successful projects merging into one, and yeah, we can only hope what you will be able to achieve within this project. So I guess, as mentioned earlier, can you walk us through like production and what Xeco is all about?
Yeah, of course. So as Danny mentioned, and I mentioned before, we've joined the 2 projects, Virtual X and Doxed, into one called Xecosystem. Some of you know our previous utilities in Doxed, like the Launchpad, the NFT Marketplace, and some others that we were going to launch and we put on hold so we can obviously launch them with Xeco. Our main utility that we've been working on, and our dev team has been working on for the last probably 5 to 6 months, is our own centralized exchange, CEX. That will be live for testing with the community at launch. So that's a big utility that the teams put a lot of effort in, and we're ready to launch it, which will generate hopefully a lot of profit for the project in the long term, which in returns, obviously, fingers crossed, makes it a successful project. So the X Trade, it's going to be called, which is our CEX, our own CEX, that will be live, as I mentioned, at launch, tested by the community for a couple of weeks before it goes out to the public. As well as the CEX, we will have the NFT Marketplace, XNFT, as our second utility, launching straight after the CEX, probably a week from now. And that's a marketplace for artists and community, of course, to learn and create NFTs. Like everyone knows, of course, what a marketplace is, NFT marketplace is. That's phase 1. In terms of phase 2, after that, we've got the Docs Verified and the XPad. So the Docs Verified is what Danny mentioned. The docs.org website will become a utility for Xeco for projects to come and docs and KYC with us for their project. So it's a service that we're offering, and that will be on the docs.org website. Another way to generate, obviously, a revenue for our project. The XPad in phase 2, which is what we previously had, was the DocsPad. The difference between the XPad and the DocsPad was private, only for Doxed holders. The XPad is going to be public, similar to Pink Sale, similar to DX Sale. The only the difference between XPad and these other Launchpad is going to be the cost and the fee for projects to launch is going to be very minimal, and we won't be taking any percentage of their tokens like what Pink Sale and DX Sale do. So that's going to be really attractive for new projects to launch because the fee is going to be minimal. In terms of the advantage for the Xeco holders, What we're gonna do with XPad is we haven't decided yet on exactly how long the time will be, but probably between the first 10 to 15 minutes, it will be exclusive for Xeco holders to get it on any pre-sale on that XPad. And then after that, if the pre-sale is not filled, it will open up to the public. So that's the difference between the XPad utility and what we had previously, which is the DocsPad. We're still in phase 2. The third and last utility in phase 2 is going to be WorldX. WorldX is our metaverse. So VirtualX, as I just said earlier as well, it was a project that was going to launch by itself, and it was focused on a really interesting metaverse platform with a lot of utilities in it. That is now one of our utility in Xeco. So there's going to be a metaverse in our ecosystem, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people know what a metaverse is and how it works. But in terms of the details, we have a lot of surprises coming up once we get to that stage of launching the World X. I would assume probably in the next month or two in phase 2. And that would be the third utility in phase 2. Phase 3, after that, we're launching an X wallet. That the difference between our X wallet and any other wallets, that it will be integrated in our CEX, which give users obviously easier way of swapping and a better experience to trade with the X wallet. And the second utility in phase 3 is going to be the Xeco bridge. So it's a cost chain bridge to bring new users and investors from other chains like Ethereum or Cardano or Tron or Solana, any other chain. It's the Xeco bridge. Now the phase 4, which is for the meantime, it will be our last phase, and that is the one that has the two really interesting and exciting utilities that we're really looking forward to launch. One of them hasn't been done, as far as I know, in the crypto space. The first one is going to be the render chain. So similar to miners, they awarded obviously the currency of the chain that they are mining for verifying transactions. The render chain will reward the miners with our token for rendering 3D assets. So pretty much anyone with a laptop or a desktop with a decent VGA can become a miner and just render 3D assets and get paid with our token, which will be used to render 3D assets in our metaverse, if that makes sense. So that would be really exciting. Another way for our holders to make extra money, passive income, which I believe everyone is interested in. And the second one, which is the most important one from my opinion in our ecosystem, is the cloud ecosystem. So just a quick summary on what the cloud ecosystem is. A cloud ecosystem is an Ethereum virtual machine in the cloud where users can actually create and develop their own blockchain literally within 24 hours. So let me repeat that. If you're a project and you're looking to build a blockchain for your project, you usually take about a few months to whatever long it takes, but it does take a bit of time to create your own blockchain, and it costs a lot of money because it takes a lot of developers to do so. What we're creating is a cloud ecosystem where a project can come in, go on their dashboard on our cloud ecosystem, enter the details of their project, that what they want the token to be named, all the details that are required, and then it will the blockchain and the utilities of what they choose to have in their project will be ready in about 24 hours. From a DEX to a marketplace, whatever they choose as a utility that is available on the cloud ecosystem will be ready on top of a blockchain for them in 24 hours. So that hasn't been done, and the team has been working on that for a very long time, and they've tested it, and they are confident that it's 100% working. Of course, there's a lot more work to be done on the front side of it to get it out and projects can start using it. But as an idea of it will attract, I believe, a lot of projects to use it instead of spending months of building blockchains and a lot of money and resources where they can do it literally in 24 hours. And they don't even have to do it. They just have to put the details of the project and it will get done automatically. And obviously the blockchain will be hosted on the server that they choose. So there will be different type of packages for these projects to choose from, sort of what servers they want to be hosted on. Are they bringing their own server with them, or do they want us to do that? So there's different, and the details are not out yet, but as an idea, that's what the cloud ecosystem is. Future-wise, we do believe that would be the most important utility for Xeco and the most that will bring revenue and new investors to our project. Sorry for talking too much, but that's pretty much our roadmap for now. Happy to take any questions if you have any.
Oh man, I mean that was well explained and well thought out and quite unbelievable, especially in the last part of it. Like 24 hours,
okay.
their own blockchain. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, all good, man. So people get really surprised by it. Like first time the devs told me that they want to do this, I was quite surprised too. So I will just tell everyone how this works. Like you have BNB, and BNB has a side chain that's Binance, okay, Binance Smart Chain. So we will be doing the same thing, our main token, and then anyone who wants to launch their own project will have their side chain that will be directly linked to our chain. All the source code and everything will be in our cloud system. That will be same for all the projects that want to launch with us. They will have an option to change some things that they want to change. If they want to do some changes in their launchpad, in their decks, whatever they do, but the codes will be codes for the blockchain, and all the utilities related to that will be standard. That's why we will be able to deliver it in 24 hours, and project can do websites and anything they want, and can launch their project in a week. Why we did that? Because the reason behind that is that for Docs CEX, just giving an example, it took us about 7 to 8 months to plan it, to develop and arrange funding for it, and do marketing for it. And so it takes a lot of time to do that. And imagine making a blockchain. Blockchain development cost starts from like $500,000. It can go up to $2 million for one blockchain. So what we are trying to do here is the investors who want to launch their project but do not want to wait for 6 months to 1 year to make apps and blockchain. We'll just give them a platform where they can name their blockchain and decide on the utilities, pay the fee associated with it, and launch their project right away. So that's the like whole game plan for it, that cut the time by like 99%. The cost will be same for them that they are willing to pay, but the delivery time will be significantly reduced. Okay, so cloud is ecosystem, and the render chain, like Mario said, it has never been done before, and we have been working on it for, we started work on it in January and or February first week. So all is going well regarding our utilities. And another question, sorry, some a few people might have these questions. I'm answering them beforehand because we did few AMAs and everyone has had same questions. So another question is why how we will do it, where the funding will come from. So like all other BSC projects, we have a 10% tax. Our main plan here is to launch the CEX first, get it give our community like a week or two to test it. We will fix the bugs and we'll make it live for everyone else. And our main goal here is to start generating revenue, so we can cover up the development costs for the rest of the ecosystem. That's our whole plan regarding how we will manage the expenses, because anyone can make a website and write any amount of utilities in it, but We had the same thing in Doxed as well, and we delivered all the utilities on time for Doxed as well, and we will do for this one as well.
Well, again, that is a really intelligent way on getting their own blockchain. I mean, you explained it and tell us how it can be done, but it's not done until now for a certain reason because it's not that easy to develop their own blockchain, and
Yeah,
you
it's
find
yeah, it's not.
oh, sorry, you somehow found a loophole, which is really impressive. And I was already impressed when you said that you're going to be having your own exchange, and then when Danny said that when Mario said that it's going to be there, like the last utility will be even better. They're like developing a blockchain within the next 24 hours. That just blew my mind. And another thing about the launchpad, that also is a good idea to not take any tokens because, as you've mentioned, a lot of the launchpad that we have recently is killing projects by taking their own tokens and dumping it at maybe a high peak, and when a huge
Yeah,
part of
look,
tokens are dumped.
I agree. And with the XPad, our focus wasn't like the other main utilities, which is to generate revenue to keep the project going. The XPad was, if I'm honest, he was more for our community to benefit from it and to have the opportunity to jump in on new projects earlier. They still have to do their own research. They still have to, take their own decisions, and we won't be doxing and KYCing the projects like with DocsPad, but it's still there for them to have an opportunity to decide if they want to jump in on a new project that is launching on XPad or not. We do have, as I said, the docs.org utility, which is projects can docs and KYC there. So people that are participating in the pre-sale can check that out if they have or not, and make their own decision. So the focus for the XPad again wasn't mainly to generate revenue. That's why we made it as minimal as possible, but more to give our community an extra thing to be able to benefit from it.
Yeah, and you're CH, you're right about launch pads that they kind of like buy and dump on the community. So our process was transparent, but the last project we launched was Arc Realm. They kind got dumped on the launch, but not from the wallets that people from the wallets of our community. So it was kind of a bad thing and didn't reflected good on us. So we refunded like 50% of the amount that community invested from our own pocket. So launchpads are kind of a big risk now because doesn't matter how much like clean the project owner is. We did the KYC, we did audit, and we did everything for that project. In the end, the project was dead in like 3 days after launch. So that's why we decided to move away from the launchpad thing and just make it a generic one, but with few special things so project owners can come and launch on our pad instead of other ones. So that's the reason we decided not to showcase one project every month to community and launch or make our launch pad for public and anyone can just go and launch their project.
Yeah, I think that's also a good way to do that because if I'm not mistaken, your flagship product in this project is going to be the centralized exchange and the blockchain creation as
Correct.
fast as you can.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I think it's the right move to do that. Of course, it's a free pass to get into projects beforehand. That's going to be in your launchpad, so that's going to give your holders more incentive to keep holding on to your token. Okay. Going into the distribution of your tokens, can you walk us through about the tokenomics and, as mentioned, the distribution? Is there any private sale, pre-sale, anything like that?
Okay, I will take you through it. Okay, so when we announced the relaunch of the project and merger of two projects, it was in February. So we gave our community about 2-3 months to send their tokens back. So we got about 32% of the total supply back that we sold, and we have now 350 BNB for the liquidity right now. Okay, so we have about 3% of supply that we are doing a small pre-sale. It's open, anyone can jump in. We do not want to, like, if we get to the amount we want, it's around 100 BNB, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. We are not worried about it at all. In our chat, you can see that we are not pushing messages for a private sale again and again. I just posted a message and pinned it. If someone wants to jump in, they can just DM me. So, and the remaining, sorry, not remaining, 35% supply is for pre-sale, out of which 3% will be for private sale, and 32% is communities that will be airdropped. And another thing, we took a vote for vesting, so our community said yes to it. So we are not dropping 100% of the tokens at launch. We are dropping 50%, and 25% will be dropped after 7 days, and rest of the 25% will be dropped after 14 days. Okay, and moving on to for we are also introducing our own farming and staking. So for farming, staking, and the liquidity or the tokens we will add in Pancake Swap, that will be 35%. And we have a wallet for contingency and collaborations for 5%. That's the only wallet that we are not locking, because 8% of the community haven't sent their tokens back. And as you can check, or you can just, you're more than welcome to check it and make sure that we are not lying or something. Some of the big holders, like people have 1 million, 500K, 300K docs, they haven't sent us their docs yet. So if they come back to us later on, we do not want to like say them, you missed the boat or something, because these are the investors that trusted us and our project at some point. So that's why we have, instead of keeping 8%, we cut it down to 5%. We have that just in case someone comes back. And after that, we have two dev wallets. Dev wallet 1 5% locked for 4 months, and we have dev wallet 2 locked for 5%. And there's a marketing wallet of 5% that is locked for 3 months. That's the time we have planned that we will launch CX to marketing and start generating revenue. And when this market wallet opens, we will remove the transaction tax of 10% and make it 0, or maybe 1% just for auto liquidity. And with our collaborations with Flus and other partners, like we did in Doxed, we have a 10% wallet of airdrops and ecosystem rewards. Okay, how this works is 1% supply. 1% supply opens every month, and the whole system is quite transparent. And the people who bought dogs, people who will buy Xeco from Flus, they will have a chance to get 1 BNB, so 1 BNB in Xeco, and that will be given from this wallet. And like Binance does various giveaways for various currencies if people trade in some specific pairs like Xeco BNB, Xeco USD. So for the same thing, we will have rewards for CEX rewards for trading in our currency on our CEX. So that's why this wallet is for it. Everything is same as Docs. It's just we have an extra wallet for 5% for contingency.
Okay, so with that being said, there was a private sale, and there's going to be airdrops for the previous holders of the token. So can we assume that there's not going to be any other pre-sales after that?
No, that's the only one.
No pre-sale. Even with that private sale that Danny was mentioning, it's only 3%, and we just did it to give some people the opportunity to jump in early because we had that extra 3%. Like Danny said, we're not even pushing it. It's just out there. If you would like to jump in and take a spot, DM Danny before probably the next day or so before we launch on the 15th. Whatever we feel from it, that's fine. We already have the liquidity ready to be added from the previous project. So that's just, as I said, an extra thing for new investors if they want to jump in early.
Yeah, so in a way, this is going to be like kind of like a clean, fair launch in the fact that no one has a lot of tokens.
Pretty much. I mean,
considering the current situation right now, we were kind of afraid of the dump because we announced relaunch in February and it's been 3-4 months, and we were expecting like to people to dump like on launch. So we took a vote for vesting, and surprisingly, most 75% of the people said yes for vesting. So it's a good sign that doesn't matter what the market conditions are, our community is still with us. So that's kind of gave us a lot of motivation and not to like postpone the launch again because of the current situation. So if BNB goes up from here, we will also go up. Same thing happened with docs. When we launched docs, the BNB price was 310 or 15. I exactly remember that because we did private sale for that as well. And when BNB went to 650, docs went to 15 million. So I think we are not like gambling on it, but that's a calculated risk to not postpone the launch and just go ahead with and just trust our community.
Yeah, that's the safest way to go. And gosh, I would really love to see BNB back to 300 plus again after the few market crashes. But yeah, we can only hope. And as you mentioned,
We
the
can only
lower
hope.
the lower the market, the lower the price of BNB, which is going to be your partnered liquidity, the higher chance of pumping or like mooning once it catch up with the pump. So
Yeah,
yeah, a lot of fear in the market, but also a higher chance of mooning. Okay,
yeah.
as much as I wanted to ask more questions, I think it's just about time for us to ask the community for some questions, so I don't rug them of their questions. So, guys, in the VC listening, I'm gonna be opening up the questions for the community. So, as always, just raise your hands up in the VC, so you'll be allowed to speak, and we'll be choosing some questions as well in the main chat if we do not have enough questions in the VC. So let's start off with our first question with De Pauls. You're allowed to speak. Please ask your question.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, bro, we can hear
Hello.
you.
Okay, my question is, I want to know, with these market conditions, what do you intend to do about your marketing? Because most investors now, like me, I'm not interested in buying any project or any token for now, because the analysis that is trending now, that the market will still go bearish, more bearish, and many investors are afraid to risk their funds in any project, thinking that is a total risk anyway. And most developers do say that going into marketing in a bearish market might end up wasting funds and thereabout, and not getting results of what really the marketing was done for. So I want to ask, what are you going to do in this condition that we all know what is happening in the crypto space right now? So what are you going to do about your marketing? Are you going further to your marketing, or you leaving it for when the market gets better, or what?
Okay, so I will just answer this in with an example. How we did marketing for docs, we will doing the same thing for Xeco. What we did was we'll launch a utility, show people what we can do, and then start marketing for it. And marketing not just by paying Twitter influencers or YouTuber just to make videos, and everything is botted these days. So what we did was we kind of built collaborations. We partnered up with multiple Telegram groups that are legit, like Phoenix. And sorry, just giving an example, Phoenix Holdings. We are with them since like the day Docs launched. We did first time event. They are our partner since. So we are kind of going the Binance way. Like when Binance launched, they kind of like shied away from marketing and showed people what they can do, and that started the marketing for it. So if someone is coming from that market, that hey, this is a good project, they are live for like 6 months, and now I'm hearing about it, they when they visit our site, they will be able to see that we have delivered these much utilities, then they will buy. We are kind of hitting towards, and we did hit towards, you can say, diamond hand holders for dogs, and we were doing the same for it. So some people didn't like it the first time I told this in our first AMA, like in September of 2021, and it worked out for us. And it's a really good formula to gain good investors who are like here to stay, not just buy on launch and dump the project. So that's how we have planned the marketing for it. um, we have few investors backing, and they will jump in when our utilities are fully working. So we have more of a collaboration based marketing approach, rather than just paying and getting tweets done.
Just to iterate on what Danny just said, let's be honest here. We most of us been in the crypto space for a while now, and we we probably all know that Twitter influencers don't work anymore. If anything, it hurts your project more than anything because it's a pump and dump scenario. So we never liked that anyway, even when they were famous. But even more though now because of the market conditions and what we've seen of what they did to projects in terms of pump and dump, organic growth and word of mouth and collaboration with real people and real groups like Phoenix is the way that we go about for our marketing. In terms of the market conditions, to answer the Paul's question, uh, no, look, it can go to zero, it can go to 100k Bitcoin tomorrow. No one knows. Let's be honest. It doesn't matter how many analysis people do. No one knows what's going to happen. We can only build on what we have and hope for the best. And with everything that it's going on. So the backup that we have in terms of not stressing about these market conditions for now, as Danny mentioned before, is our community. To give you an example, before we stopped trading to relaunch for Doxed, we gave our community about 2 weeks to sell their Doxed token if they don't want to send them and participate. And majority of them didn't want to. So on top of that, when we did a vesting vote, they wanted to be vested because they do believe in the project and they don't care about having all the tokens now and selling it because they're in it for the long term. I'm talking about majority of the community. To have a solid base like that gives you a lot of confidence in terms of kicking off a project, and anything that comes after that is a bonus in these market conditions. But for us, what we believe is all we can do is work, deliver, and show that we can do what we said we're doing, and anything else and everything else comes automatically and organically. So, of course, there will be a marketing, but the sort of marketing that we will be doing, as Danny was saying, was more about the collaboration with real people and real AMA groups and showing off the utilities that are live every now and then.
Okay.
Hey,
Oh, Mario, you're about to say something else?
No. I just was
Okay,
going to
okay.
say that answered the question.
Yeah, I was also gonna ask that. Did that answer your question, sir? Yes, I'm gonna skip over to the next question so we can cover as many questions as we got within this VC. So thank you so much for your question. We go on to the next question here in the main chat. This is Bert. The question goes: how will you market the new centralized exchange and convince users to use your Centralized exchange. What is the USP for your CX? A cloud system suggests you will have a large server capacity. So how will you fund the server capacity? Yeah, that's kind of question. And also, I wanted to add to that because there's a lot of competition within having centralized exchanges, so it's going to be a huge challenge to compete with those. So I think that was the essence of his question.
Oh, great. That's a really good question. So, I will just answer it in one line. What we have planned is to stand out this. There will be a DEX in our CEX. So it's just not a centralized exchange. We are also adding a DEX to it, like Pancake Swap. So people can farm and earn and swap other currencies as well. So that will be kind of a USP for us because our chain is coming and we need a DEX for it. So our CX will be combination of both the things. And also we started registering docs in Cayman Airlines in February, and now we are just changing the names and everything. So it will be a registered exchange down the line, not just like just a website, but it a whole X ecosystem is getting registered. So that will be our USP, and that will turn people to come and um, trade on our exchange and DEX along with the X wallet that will be coming in few months.
Okay,
in terms of the question for the server capacity for the cloud ecosystem, so the way it works is every time a project wants to create their own blockchain, as I mentioned before, maybe I didn't go into a lot of details, my bad. When they do decide on a package, we host a server for them, so they pay a monthly fee unless they bring their own server with them. So every project will have their own server, either paying through us the monthly fee, or they can bring their own hosting server. So it won't be like one huge server for docs and they are hosted on us, if that makes sense.
Okay, individual servers for each client. Yeah, I think that's what I understand as well. Okay, so he has another follow-up question. Can you explain to us more about the render chain and the cloud ecosystem? I think the cloud ecosystem was briefly touched on, but the render chain, I don't think we've covered that yet.
Okay, I will take you guys over it. So, how mining works is like with Ethereum and when Bitcoin started, a lot of people bought expensive GPUs to mine Bitcoin and mine Ethereum and other currencies as well. So what happens is it's just like a ledger. People confirm transactions and they are getting paid in BTC or Ethereum on or the relative chain they are mining. So we are kind of solving a big issue here. So what's happening right now is some of the miners in the areas like USA, Europe, where electricity cost is too high, mining is not worth it right now. So what we have planned for it, that they have the same resources, same processors and same GPUs. So what we are doing here is using that power to render 3D assets. And just to set an example, we have World X, that's a part of our metaverse where developers, businesses can come use our SDK and make their or shops, NFT, marketplace, or whatever they can in our virtual world. And how they will manage and make the heavy or time and resource intensive graphics, they will use the render chain. And how it will work is they will send the asset that to be rendered to our render chain, and the miners on other side, their processing powers of their GPUs will be used to render those 3D assets. And instead of not just verifying transactions, they are rendering, and they will be rewarded in our native token. So that's how render chain will work. And we did not pull it out of the blue. We Our head dev Zohib, he couldn't make it today, but he's in development since 2013, and just getting some reviews or feedback from the miners that it's not worth it, and we kind of like try to solve the issue here of the resources which are not being used by miners. That's why render chain came into plan.
Okay. Okay. So thank you so much for your question, Jason, and thank you so much for the wonderful technical answer. And let's go on to the next question. I'm sorry if I'm kind of rushing into the questions, guys, because I keep seeing a lot of raised hands, and I wanted to cover a lot of the questions. So I hope you do understand that. Okay. Let's go over to the next question. Andy, you're allowed to speak. Please ask your question. Andy, I think you're unmuted, but you're not speaking. Maybe it's something with your mic. Okay, let's go with another person then. Okay, Kyle L, the last son of Krypton. Quite a mouthful of a name you got. You're allowed to speak. Please ask your question.
Thanks, CH. Danny and Mario, good day. My question, it's something I saw on your website. You guys are planning on having an NFT marketplace where crypto users and the community will be trained on how to make their own NFTs. Now that training or how will it done? Will it be available on YouTube or your Telegram channel? Where will it be available for people to access? Did you get my question?
No, sorry, can you repeat the question, please? I didn't get the last part.
I was asking your NFT tutelage that you'll be doing. How will it be accessible? Where do I get it from? Can I access it from YouTube or your Twitter page or your Telegram?
There will be a website for our NFT marketplace, and to get.
I can jump in here. The tutorial for how to learn to create NFT from scratch will be on the NFT marketplace website. To start off, we might do some YouTube videos, generic YouTube videos later on, but as a start, there will be a tutorial on the website that you can read and access it to see or to learn how to create NFT from scratch.
Okay. Then after let's say I'm a beginner and I have learned to some particular extent, will there be contests to show my skills? And if I pass, what will be my award, my prize for being a good student, for passing the class or the test?
The learning tutorial will be more to help new people that have no idea how to start from scratch with NFT, more than giving prizes for passing a class. It's not. I'm not sure how to explain it. It's not a prize contest, I guess, or a thing as an award. It's more as a resource for people that want to create NFT from scratch but don't know how. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes a whole lot of sense. All right, thank you very much. Thanks, CH.
No problem.
Yeah, so it's not going to be a competition, but more of like a free tutorial for anyone to be able to use your platform.
Right.
Okay. Perhaps we got time for like one or two more questions on the VC. So let's go on with another person. They call this. Okay, I'm gonna give Andy another chance to speak. Andy. Hopefully your mic is fixed now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you. So please ask your question, Andy.
Yeah. So my question is,
Andy, you cut off again. Oh no. Andy, I think you're having mic problems. We can hear you when you said, "Can you hear us?" But now you suddenly cut off. Okay, Andy.
Hello.
Okay, you're back, Andy.
My question is, how will the demand for X ecosystem token will increase in the future, or what steps will you take to increase the demand?
Look, in terms of demand, I guess it's if you're successful, it becomes like a snowball. The more people hear about it, the more people want to jump in. And with the roadmap that we have in our ecosystem and the utilities that we're launching one after another, it just brings more investors as we go. Because some people might be interested in using our CEX, but not in the marketplace, NFT marketplace, and some others completely the opposite. Some people might be interested in waiting to jump in when the render chain is available so they can mine and earn. So it's as long as we deliver and keep on top of our utilities and make them live for the community to benefit from it, that's how we increase the demand of the Xeco token or project. Similar to anything else, similar to Binance, similar to Bitcoin, I guess. When it first started, there wasn't a lot of demand. It just becomes a word of mouth. More people know about it, more people can benefit from it. Nowadays, with the crypto project, it's more about utilities and more benefits, more than just a coin. So yeah, that's how I believe the demand will increase in the future.
Okay, Andy, thank you so much for your
Thanks
question.
for the answer.
Yeah, and I think we got time for one last question over the main chat. This question goes, I see Xeco is here to revolutionize the crypto space by launching several utilities with unique selling propositions with 2 unique utilities, blockchain rendering and cloud ecosystem, Ethereum virtual machine. So the question is, which one of the 2 utilities will be integrated first, and how suitable will it be for beginners?
In terms of which one will be integrated first, they are both in the last phase of the ecosystem. Render chain might be coming earlier, but the blockchain or the cloud ecosystem won't be long after. It's just my guess for now, so don't take my word on it. They're both in the same phase, so they won't be too far from each other in terms of being live. What was the other part of the question? In terms of beginners, was it?
Yeah, friendliness and these are 2 new features. So how easy can users use it?
Yeah, with the render chain, it will be pretty straightforward with the miners just using your computer GPU and power, so it should be pretty straightforward. Any beginner can use it. You don't need a lot of knowledge in terms of that. You're just a miner and using your power and GPU to render assets. With the cloud ecosystem, it's more if you're a project and you want to launch a blockchain. So if you're a beginner and you're just in the community, the way you benefit from it is by the project creating a lot of revenue to improve the project, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think we pretty much covered all the questions that we can. I just look at the time. It's almost like an hour for the AMA. So with that being said, guys, for the people here who still have questions for this AMA that wasn't been able to be covered, I encourage you to please join Xeco on their Telegram group. It's pinned in the main chat here at Phoenix Holdings, and you can go ahead and ask your questions there. And I'm sure that Mario and the rest of his team will be more than happy to answer all of your questions. And
Yes,
with
yes,
that, please speak. Sorry, I keep speaking over.
Yeah, look, they're welcome to jump in our Telegram, ask any questions. Myself, Danny, or either our team will be more than happy to answer anytime. If no one gets back to you straight away, just give us some time. It might be difference of time with different locations, but yes, absolutely, jump in and ask any questions you would like.
Yeah, definitely. So guys, again, join them in the Telegram group. And I guess to wrap things up for this AMA, can you give us a short summary on, especially for people who join in late to this AMA, on what Xeco is all about and why people should be investing in it in the near future? You got the question? You got that?
Yes. Sorry, I was just unmuting. Look, as a summary, it says it in our website. We're looking to revolutionize the crypto space. We started it last September with Doxed by creating an amazing community, a great project with great utilities that proved to be successful. And all we're doing now is multiplying that by 10 or probably even 100 in terms of the amount of utility and the quality of the utility, and something that hasn't been done in the crypto space yet. So if you're interested in the future of technology and crypto, and you're looking forward to see something successful and something new, feel free to jump on board. We'll be more than happy to have you.
And guys, I wanted to add, if you missed the first part of it, they're part of a previous successful project, I would say, Tops, and that just proves the track record of what their team has, and they're going to be joining another legitimate team. So, yeah, that's something to look into, guys, if you're choosing to invest over them. And Danny, you have anything you wanted to add as well? Oh,
I believe his internet is playing up a bit.
Oh, okay. And Mario, do you wanted to add anything else? I think you were about to speak earlier.
I just want to say thank you to our community. I always say in our AMAs, because without them we can't do anything, and we're nothing pretty much. So I would just want to say thank you again to our amazing community, and for sticking with us and believing in us. And we're looking forward to our next chapter with them and with new investors as well. And thank you to you and the AMA for today. And Phoenix Group always been a great partner for us. So we're looking forward for more collaborations in the future.
Definitely. Also amazing and thankful to have your AMA with us here at Phoenix Holdings. And last question before we conclude the AMA, when is going to be the launch time for the token itself? So potential investors have the timeline for that?
Yeah, we haven't announced that yet, so just keep an eye in our Telegram in the next day or so, and we will announce it then.
Sorry, I was muted. So guys, you've heard it. Please join them in their Telegram group to get also the latest news and updates, especially their launch date is hopefully, if I'm not mistaken, your launch date is going to be within the month. Is that going to be your approximate projection?
The launch date is on the 15th, in 2 days.
Oh, okay. It's going to be the 15th. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So we're doing the private sale over the next day or two. As we mentioned before, if anyone is interested, they can jump in our Telegram and DM Danny. And then launch is on the 15th. Unless something out of control, out of our hand happens. So far, it's on the 15th, and the time will be announced shortly.
Okay, so guys, mark your calendars on the 15th. And again, thank you again for this amazing AMA, Mario, Danny. Although Danny's gone right now, so I look forward to the development. Oh,
hello.
Who's it? Danny? Oh, welcome back, Danny.
My internet acting up. Sorry, guys.
Oh, good. I've mentioned that. So we're just wrapping up.
All good.
Okay. Do you have any parting message to say before we conclude the AMA, Danny?
No, I know you're all good, Mario. I think took care of that.
I believe so.
Yeah, I pretty much did. Oh, way and beyond. He spoke for you already, Danny. But I'm just glad we didn't totally lose you, and we have you till the end of this AMA. So, guys, thank you again for tuning in at Phoenix Holdings, and we look forward to seeing you in the next AMA here at Phoenix Holdings. Goodbye, and good night, everyone. Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.